Come closer. But listen, speak softly. Have you ever felt that weird shiver that runs up the back of your neck and you don't know where it came from? What if I told you that there are places in our world where that shiver never goes away? Places where the silence is so heavy that it hurts your ears, where the shadows seem to have a life of their own, and where the inhabitants, well, let's just say they're no longer among us. Today, we're going on a trip, but forget about the plane. Our ticket is your courage. I'm going to take you to see an island ruled by bizarre dolls, a forest that tricks you into getting lost forever, and a castle where the queen still walks only without her head. So, here's a warning. If you're afraid of the dark, maybe you should close this video now. But if you're like me, turn off the light, put on your headphones, and come with me. Our supernatural adventure is just beginning. So, are you ready for a hair-raising adventure? Imagine that we're going to travel the world, but not to visit beaches or amusement parks. Our destination is the most haunted places in existence. Grab your flashlight, a tasty snack, and come with me on this ghostly expedition. But hey, it's only for those who aren't afraid of the dark, okay? Ready? Then let's go. First stop, the Island of the Dolls, Mexico. Just imagine, you're in a small boat, sailing through peaceful canals in Mexico, full of flowers and trees. Suddenly, you arrive on an island that's not like the others. Instead of flowers, the trees are full of dolls, thousands of them. They're hanging from the branches, sitting on the trunks, looking at you from every corner. Some are brand new, others are old, with peeling paint, missing an arm or a leg, and with glass eyes that seem to follow you wherever you go. What a thrill. The story that people tell is that a long time ago, a man named Don Julian lived alone on this island. One day, he found a little girl who had drowned nearby. He was very sad, and, to keep her spirit company, he found the girl's doll and hung it on a tree. But he never stopped. He spent 50 years of his life collecting dolls that he found in the trash, or that he was given, and hung them all around the island. He wanted the girl's ghost to be happy and not feel alone. The strangest part, they say that Don Julian himself drowned in the same place as the girl. Today, visitors to the island swear that the dolls are not normal. They say that when the wind blows, it seems like they are whispering secrets to each other. Some people say they have seen their eyes blink or their heads move by themselves. Would you dare to leave your favorite doll there to keep the others company? It's a very different boat trip, right? Next adventure, the dark forest of Aokigahara, Japan. Now, let's go to the other side of the world, to Japan. Near a giant and beautiful mountain called Mount Fuji, there is a forest called Aokigahara. The name means sea of trees, and when you look at it from afar, it is exactly what it seems, a green, dense, and silent ocean. The trees are so close together that you can barely see the sky from inside, and the ground is covered in soft moss that muffles all sounds. It is so quiet that you can hear your own heart beating tum-tum-tum. But this forest has a sad secret. Many people who were feeling very lonely and hopeless went there too. Well, never return. Because of this, the forest became known as being haunted. The Japanese believe in ghosts called yurei, which are the souls of people who met a sad end. And they say that Aokigahara is full of them. The brave ones who enter the forest tell very strange things. They say that compasses go crazy and arrows spin endlessly, as if some mysterious force doesn't want them to find their way back. Others say they hear cries and whispers carried by the wind, even when no one is around. It's as if the trees themselves are sad, despite being scary. The forest has safe trails to walk along, but the #1 rule is, never ever stray from the trail. You don't want to get lost in this sea of trees and secrets, do you? How about a castle? Let's go to Bhangarh Fort in India. Enough of the forest. Let's go to a warm place full of history, India. There is an ancient fort there, which is now in ruins, called Bhangarh Imagine a stone castle in the middle of nowhere, with temples, palaces, and old markets, all deserted. During the day, it is a super interesting place to explore and imagine what life was like there hundreds of years ago. But when the sun starts to set, the story changes. The most famous legend tells of a very powerful wizard who fell in love with the princess of Bhangarh. She was beautiful, and everyone loved her. The wizard tried to make a magic potion so that she would also fall in love with him, but the princess discovered his plan and threw the potion at a huge rock. The rock rolled and crushed the wizard. Before he died, with his last breath, he cast a terrible curse. He said that no one in Bhangarh would ever be able to have a home again, and that the souls of everyone who lived there would be trapped in the ruins forever. Shortly after, a great battle destroyed the city, and everyone died. To this day, the curse seems to work. The Indian government has placed a huge sign at the entrance that reads, "Entry into the fort after sunset and before sunrise is prohibited. No one is allowed to stay there at night." Residents of nearby villages say that anyone who disobeys and tries to spend the night there is never seen again. They say they hear music, laughter, and conversation coming from the empty ruins, as if a ghost party were taking place. So, would you risk taking a peek after the sun has set? I don't think so. Descending into the underground, the Catacombs of Paris, France. Let's go to the most romantic city in the world, Paris. But forget the Eiffel Tower, our tour is underground. Deep down, beneath the chic streets and charming cafes, there is a giant labyrinth of dark, cold tunnels. And these tunnels are not empty. The walls are made of human bones and skulls. Yes, you read that right. A long time ago, the cemeteries of Paris were so full that there was no room for anyone else. The city had a big problem. The solution they found was to dig these tunnels and take the bones of more than 6 million people there. And they didn't just throw the bones away. They made drawings, hearts and neat piles with the tibias, femurs, and skulls. It's a place that is both scary and a bizarre work of art. Walking through these corridors, with millions of silent souls watching you from the walls, the feeling is enough to send shivers down your spine. The people who work there and the more sensitive visitors report feeling strange things. Some feel a cold touch on their shoulder, as if an invisible hand were there. Others see shadows dancing in the dim light of the lamps, or hear whispers that seem to come from the skulls themselves, telling stories of a time long gone. It is a walk through the empire of the dead. Would you dare to look into the empty eyes of a skull and wonder what story it would tell if it could talk? Our last scary stop, the Tower of London, England. To end our trip with a flourish, or should we say ghostly. We're going to London, England, to visit a famous castle, the Tower of London. From the outside, it looks like a fairy tale castle, with its tall towers and guards and funny hats. But inside, this tower holds almost 1,000 years of dark secrets. It was once a palace for kings and queens, but it was also a terrible prison and a place of execution. Many important people have lost their heads literally there. The most famous ghost is that of Anne Boleyn, a queen who was married to King Henry VIII. The king got tired of her and accused her of things she didn't do, so she was executed in the tower. They say that her ghost loves to walk around there, sometimes carrying her own head under her arm. Can you imagine coming face to face with a headless ghost queen in the middle of the hallway? Wow, but she's not alone. They say that the ghosts of 2 little princes, who were brothers and were locked in the tower never to be seen again, also appear there, playing hand in hand, dressed in their night clothes. The guards who watch over the tower at night tell so many stories of doors that slam shut on their own, screams that come out of nowhere, and mysterious figures that appear and disappear, that it has become normal. So, did you like our trip? From Mexico to Japan, from India to Europe, the world is full of places where the past seems to refuse to rest. These are stories that give us butterflies in our stomachs but that also make us think about life and the mysteries it hides. Now, tell me, which of these places did you find the scariest, and which would you dare to actually visit? Who knows? One day we might find ourselves on one of these adventures, if you're not afraid, of course. And so our trip ends. We return to the safety of our room, to the light of our cell phones, but something has changed, hasn't it? The world outside seems a little different, more mysterious. The scariest part isn't thinking about the ghosts that are far away, in India or Japan. The real chill comes when we stop to think, what if they're not just there? Think about it. Every city has its own story. Every old house has its own cracks in the middle of the night. Our world is a big map of mysteries, and we've only scratched the surface. The stories I told you today are famous, but the best are the ones that no one knows about, that are hidden on your street, in your neighborhood, maybe even inside your house. So, tonight, when you turn off the light and hear that noise you always ignore, maybe you won't ignore it anymore. If you were brave enough to make it to the end, you're officially part of our mystery expedition. So, show your courage and leave a like so I know you survived this journey. And now, I want to hear from you. Comment below which of these places really scared you the most. The Island of the Dolls, the Headless Queen. I really want to know. And, most importantly, if you, like me, love to discover what is hidden, subscribe to the channel now and activate the bell, because our map is still full of dark places to explore, and I don't want you to lose us. The adventure is far from over. See you in the next video, if you're not too afraid to turn off the light.